welcome to How to Deal When the Shit Gets Real. I'm Rietta.
And I'm Connie. And today we're doing our bonus episode. And this is the bonus episode interview with Kirsten, the cancer. I wanted to say survivor, but she technically has cancer again. So that really sucks. And editor and author.
Yeah, I just saw, I think it was the other day or so that she was on her last treatment. So all
Oh,
the
good for her.
positive,
We'll have to check up on her then.
yeah, all the positive juju that she is healthy and healing and hopefully will be fully recovered soon because she's so young and so sweet and we just want her to do
Yes.
well.
Hopefully we'll be able to post about that, about her being like fully recovered. We'll have to keep in touch with her.
Yeah, we'll have to have
There's
a
a lot. There's been a lot of cancer on our podcast, multiple. Can't even count.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of sickness going
Like
around, which is very sad.
what is it, at least like I want to say 3 at minimum. Like I don't even know if I could count all of them because one, we have a ton. Like how many podcast episodes? We have over 100 podcast episodes.
Yeah,
So,
we have a lot. Yeah, so I mean,
but I want to say like upward of 3 or 4.
it's a reminder that it's not as uncommon as people think, and that it's
Oh no,
really,
it's definitely not uncommon for sure.
yeah, it's
And
really affecting people that we love and care
and
about.
all of your doctor's appointments are important.
Yes, they absolutely are. And even if you are second guessing yourself, you should still go.
Ask for more tests.
It took a long time for her to get into the doctors.
Yes.
Like it was very delayed, which to me, and which we talked about on there, is ridiculous.
I mean, and look at the people in our lives who have had cancer, and it's the same freaking thing. Even though she's up in Canada and we're in America,
Yeah,
it's all the same shit, different day. It's just a different way to pay for it, right?
yeah. Oh, you might be dying, but we can't get you in for 2 weeks or 2 months. Oh, great, cool, thank you. I'll just sit here and brew
In pain.
in my pain and terror while you figure out when you can get me in.
Yeah, I'm glad that I don't have a doctor like that yet, but I also don't have cancer, so here we are.
I don't know
But
if our system is just so backed up right now. It seems to have gotten worse. 'Cause I was just talking to my dad about this the other day when he was trying to get in with a doctor. It just seems harder and harder to get in. Like the minimum wait time, I feel like most of the time with doctors is, at least 2 weeks, if not more.
oh yeah, when for my OB, like I would always have to schedule, like I basically scheduled all of my appointments for my pregnancy right after I think like my eighth week. And it was basically like, now let's schedule you out as far as we possibly can. Especially when it went to week. It was like, okay, and when are you coming in? I felt so bad. I was taking like not a lot of time off, but like I was taking a lot of like half days because it like I also never knew how long I was going to be sitting there waiting. So like I couldn't be like, oh, well, I'll take a 9 a.m. appointment and I'll be back at work by 10.
Right.
Because it almost never worked that way. There was always some sort of wait time.
Well, and
But
that's,
here we
that's
are.
anybody too. Most people are working. So
Yeah,
when they do have to go to the doctor, like
I know.
you have to figure it out and then you're making people wait 2 months. I mean, it's crazy.
At least PTO for me is broken down like hourly. So if I take a half hour, I could take a half hour, or I could skip lunch. Or if I'm taking a couple of hours, I can just take a couple hours. But they almost never had like late night appointments. Like there was very rarely like a 6 p.m. appointment that I would actually be able to make it to.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Most doctors work the same hours as everybody else.
yep,
Yeah.
making it more
So
difficult.
that's crazy to
And
me. I mean, I feel like everything is on the downhill slope, healthcare, all sorts of things.
well, and then don't go on your Instagram feed then, because like I don't know about you, but mine is just filled with, oh my God, there's poison in this, there's poison in that, there's cancer in this, there's cancer in that. And I'm like, and sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe I should stay away from this, right? Or maybe I should stay away from that. Like, oh, that's like, oh yeah, like I'll make my own or something. And then I like think about it and I'm like, you can't possibly stay away from everything that may
No.
cause cancer. And a lot of these things are like unknown. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
understand like your red dyes and in like kids' food and stuff, like all your different types of dyes. I understand that those are bad, but you can find like easy alternatives. But like, you have no clue. We don't have any clue what's in a lot of our food. Like, I am sure, like, I know there's the FDA and everything monitoring a lot of the products we use, but I'm like, I don't really think that that's the extent of it. Like, if you were to ask me about like a conspiracy theory, that meme where it's like, so you're telling me they're batting 1,000? Like, to me, that's the FDA. I'm like, the FDA probably knows absolutely nothing of all the shit, or they do know, and they just are like, no, it's fine. For everything that we use on a day-to-day basis. I'm like, I bet you it's impossible to find and stay away from everything that could possibly cause cancer, because there's probably a million unknowns that you don't even know about at this point. So like, I had to like stop myself from even watching them, because I'm like, you're gonna go down a rabbit hole, and then all of a sudden you're gonna have to like empty out everything in your house, because in the end it's gonna all be poisonous. So
Yeah, no, none of that is on my Instagram. My Instagram's filled with books. That's it. I don't have any of that craziness.
I think it's because I have the baby, because it's all like, all these things, they're so bad for our children. And because I post things of my son, and then like I watch like funny parenting memes, I think that's why it's getting pulled in. And like
Could be.
I do find some of the stuff like interesting, but at the same time, I'm like, you can't watch too many of these, Connie, because you're gonna go down a rabbit hole. It's gonna be bad. All
Yeah.
of a sudden there's just going to be a dumpster outside of our house. We're moving. We're going to the rural country. We're going to have a farm, and we're not going to make everything by hand. I don't trust these people.
I mean, they're saying that the generation after us is going to be the first generation that isn't going to outlive the previous generation. So there's definitely something happening. I mean, a lot of that has to do with obesity. I mean, obesity is just
Yeah.
through the roof right now. But
And like you said, though, cancer
yeah,
is
all the
everywhere.
sicknesses. I mean,
Yep.
I just noticed this morning. I didn't even know this happened. I don't remember who posted it, but I didn't know until this morning that Dave Hollis died, and I was like, "What? That is
Who's that?
insane." Rachel Hollis, who was like became big time for writing her books.
Oh,
Her
yes. Okay.
ex-husband,
Now I know her.
yeah, her ex-husband
Got
died.
it.
47 years old, ran every day, super healthy, heart attack and died. Well, that's what they're saying right now. They aren't sure because they have to, do an
Do
autopsy
the
and that takes a while.
tests.
Yeah, and that takes a while.
What it
But
really was cocaine. I don't know.
uh, but I mean, you're seeing way more recently of these really young deaths. I mean, they were
Deaths.
always there, but there's a lot more. So it just makes you wonder what's going on.
Yep. Every day.
But anyway, I love all of Kristen's like advice and talking about what she liked versus editing and writing, and
Very
she had
curious
some
to see
really,
if she'll publish a book soon. You could have her on again if she publishes.
yeah, that would be great. I know she just changed her name on Instagram, which was awesome, to Confident Kristen, which I was like, ooh, I like that. I like that.
Everybody could
So
use a little bit more confidence
yeah, absolutely.
this day and age. I really didn't expect her to be like, no, I like coaching the most, one of the things. But
I
I
didn't either.
understand. But I understand that, because you're uplifting people, and that's always better.
Yeah, that's a very feel good feeling. And you're not only giving yourself that feel good feeling, of course, but the person that you're coaching. So it's kind of a win-win. It is a
I
win-win.
I would not be a good coach. I'm way too sarcastic.
I mean, at least you know your strength. We all have
Oh,
our
yes.
our strengths and our weaknesses, and some people are born coaches.
Oh, yes.
Um,
All the coaches
my
that we've had on here, they're all like super sunny. And it's like, I am, but
yeah,
also at the same time, so sarcastic. I would probably end up hurting like a lot of people's just because of how sarcastic I am. Because like I have
probably.
hurt people like unknowingly. I'm like, what? It wasn't even anything bad. Like, okay. Okay, sorry,
Yeah,
princess.
I
I
know
guess it's
some.
because I've been surrounded by boys, but like I just don't have that like, oh,
Yeah,
it's
one of my
okay. You're
girlfriends
gonna do great.
tried to convince me to be a coach too, and I was just like, I'm not interested. Like, I get what you mean and why you think I'd be good at it, but like,
No, you
it's
just
not how I want to
coach
make
your
a
cousin for
living.
free, which is
Yeah,
me.
it's not how I want to make a living. I mean, I am
Yeah,
all
I
for supporting
agree.
people and building people up, but like, as
It's
an
just not your cup of
empath,
tea.
it's just exhausting because then you take on the other
Mhm.
person's feelings and
Emotions.
it becomes too much. And not that I don't want to help people, it just would be too overwhelming for
Oh,
me.
yeah. I get it.
That's why we have amazing people like Kirsten and all the other really awesome coaches that we've had to do it. And they are meant to do it.
Exactly. And that's all that is.
I'm just going to keep writing and hopefully she writes too.
So do you use her as an editor?
I don't. I didn't realize until later on that she was an editor, so I'll have to do it at some point. Hire
Oh,
her.
nice. I honestly, that's how I assumed we got her as an interview. I thought you used her for
No,
podcast for
we've followed each other for a while,
uh
and I did know that she I'm trying to think how I got. Oh, she had the Worthy Writers thing, and I think she asked me to be on the podcast on her podcast first because she has a podcast too, called the Worthy Writers. That's kind of how it started, and I didn't realize right away that she was an editor, and I had already, I usually try to stay at my editor's schedule. So,
oh, gotcha. Nice.
but
Maybe next
one
time.
day, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe next time, yeah, we're
So
good.
this is how to deal when shit gets real, and we'll see y'all next episode.